Question 21. We are given we're told a curve has an equation y equals f of x. We are given information about a maximum point on this curve as being 4, 3, and we're being asked to basically find out the coordinates of this point after it's been transformed in two different ways. So we have this minus 5 in the brackets giving us an f of bracket x minus 5, and then for the second part we have this 3 on the outside multiplying like so. So we have to identify the transformation that's going on here. When we have f of bracket x take away 5, we are going to be moving 5 to the right. So every part of the graph, every point on the graph is going to be moving 5 to the right. So that 4 is now going to be a 9 with the y coordinate being unchanged. For part 2, when we have a number multiplying on the outside, that is going to multiply our y coordinate by 3. So we're no longer going to have a height of 3, we're going to have a height of 9, and our x coordinate is going to remain unchanged. Next part, we have a graph of a sine wave where we are given two transformations. We have A here and we have B here. And we're being asked to figure out what A and B are based on the graph that we see. So it's important to note what a normal sine wave would look like and then be able to make the comparison. So a normal sine wave going through one cycle would go up to 1 and down to -1, starting from 0 and end at 360. So we can make comparisons between the highs and lows and the starting point of this graph and what we have here. So the fact that we're going up to 2 and down to -2 instead of going up and down to 1 tells us straight away that we're going to have a 2 involved on the outside of this sine wave. But it's not just as simple as that, because this sine wave here is actually behaving slightly differently. Instead of going up at the start, it's going down. So what we end up with is not just the fact that we have a graph that is twice as high and twice as low. We've actually got a graph that is twice as high and twice as low, and is the negative, is the opposite, the vertical opposite. If we reflect our graph, we would end up with a sine wave. So what we have here must be a negative sine wave. So I can put a negative in front of that too. Lastly, as far as this value of B on the inside of the brackets is concerned, this will tell us how many waves that we end up with in 360. If we compare the fact that our normal sine wave should end at 360, and what we have here is that our sine wave going through a full single cycle will end here, which is 120. That then tells us that we actually have 3 full waves in a full 360, which means that B is 3. So we're going to end up with -2 sine of 3x would actually be the equation of this line here. So A is -2 and B is 3. Done.